Maybe my last comment. So if you have a Bible, you can just go along with me. In John chapter number 2, verse 1, records the miracle at Cana, where we are right now, Cana of Galilee. And of course, we are on the western side of the Sea of Galilee during Jesus' ministry in the first century. And the third day, there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee. And the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto him, they have no wine. Jesus saith unto her, woman. It wasn't a comment of disrespect when he said woman. Or he could have said Ima, which is Hebrew for mom. But woman, what have I to do with thee? My hour is not yet come. And I love what Mary said about her son in verse number 5. And if the Catholics can get this down pat, they don't have all these doctrinal issues today. I'm not trying to be unkind here, but that's just a fact. Verse 5 says this, his mother saith unto his servants, whatsoever he saith unto you, do it.
Amen.
Don't look to me. I can't turn the water into wine, but my son could. And there was set, you see the picture right there? And there was set there 6 water pots of stone, after the manner of purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 furlongs. We're looking at about maybe 18 to 27 gallons apiece. Jesus saith unto them, fill the water pots with water, and they filled them up to the brim. And he saith unto them, draw out now, and bear unto the governor of the feast. And they bare it. And when the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and saith unto him, every man at the beginning doth set forth good wine, and when men have well drunk, then that which is worse, but thou hast kept the good wine until now. Now verse 11, this beginning of miracles did Jesus in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory, and his disciples believed on him. So the first recorded miracle in the Gospels was right here. Right here in Cana of Galilee. Here's what's interesting. This is only mentioned in John's Gospel. Matthew doesn't cover it. Mark doesn't. The Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, do not cover this miracle that Jesus did here in Galilee. The very first recorded miracle is right here where you are now. Cana of Galilee. But in verse number 3, we see that the wine runs out. And there's been a big controversy here. Was this wine fermented?
No.
I'm going to prove to you that it wasn't. Because there's an interesting Greek word here for wine. And it is the Greek word oinos. And oinos does not imply fermentation. You know what it was? It was just simply the fruit of the vine. You know what it was? Simple grape juice. Because in order for wine to ferment, it has to sit.
Yes.
That was newly created wine. No time whatsoever for fermentation at all. So when the governor of this area tasted it, goes, man, that's pretty good grape juice right there. And by the way, Jesus is the high priest after who? The order of Melchizedek. And because he is our great high priest, according to Hebrews chapter number 4, being the great high priest, he would have been forbidden to drink any alcohol whatsoever.
Amen.
So this does not imply fermentation at all. So he looks at his mother and he says, woman, what do I have to do with you? Was that a sign of disrespect? No, far from it. The Greek word for woman here is gune. And it is a term of respect. And then she says in verse 5, whatsoever he saith unto you, do it. You can't find salvation in me, Mary, the mother of Jesus. You can't find salvation in me. You can't find salvation in a pastor. You can't find salvation in the Pope. You can only find salvation in the Son of God himself.
Amen.
Jesus never said he was one of many ways to get to heaven. He said he was the only way to get to heaven. You all know John 14:6. What did Jesus say? I am the way, the truth, and the life. Say it. You know it.
No man coming to the Father but by me.
Bibles, no man cometh unto the Father but by me. Jesus was not one of many ways to heaven. He was the only way to heaven. Peter confirms that in Acts chapter 4, verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other. For there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. Jesus said of himself in John 10:9, I am the door. If you want to get saved, you got to go through that particular door. Not this door, that door, that door, this door, that one particular door. Jesus said, I am that very door.
Amen.
And again, verse 11 says that this was the beginning of Jesus' miracles in the Galilee, because him and his disciples were invited here in this area 2,000 years ago for a wedding. May I remind everyone here today, you have also been invited to a wedding.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
See, the Jewish wedding back in the 1st century AD, you know, the Jewish lady would be in her home, the prospective bride would walk right in and see her right there. He would put a contract on the table known in Hebrew as a ketubah. Would place that ketubah there and would place a cup of wine in front of her. Now, if she picked up that cup of wine, you know what she would be telling him? I do. I accept your proposal. But if she refused to pick up that cup of wine, you know what else she would be saying? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. But if she picked up that cup and drank from it, then she would agree to the stipulations of the ketubah, of that Jewish wedding contract. Then he would say this, I'm going to my father's house to get the honeymoon chamber ready. You don't know when I'm going to be coming back, but I want you to wait for me every single day. And on the day that he would return, there'd be blowing of shofars and trumpets. He would get her from the home, bring her back to his father's house, where they would celebrate the honeymoon. You know how many days? 7 days. Now that's right out of John 14, 1 through 3. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive one to myself, that where I am, there may be also. When he picks us up at the rapture, he's taking us to the Father's house. Do you know how long we're going to be in heaven for?
1,000 years.
Not 1,000 years.
Not in heaven.
That's okay. 7
years.
years we will be in heaven. And at the end of that 7-year period is over, we're going to get on white horses and we're coming back, but not before that wedding. The wedding described in Revelation chapter 19, 7 through 9. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor unto him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife, by the way, the church. Not the four walls. You are the bride of Christ, and his wife hath made herself ready. And to her, the church, was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. Then he says in verse 9, and he saith unto me, right, blessed are they which are called to the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, these are the true saints of God. Amen. Just as Jesus and his disciples were invited to Cana, where we are right now for a wedding, we have also punched our ticket. Amen? Right. Because the moment we got saved, the moment we've been born again, the moment we've been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb, not only did we punch our ticket for heaven, but there's going to be a wonderful, beautiful Jewish wedding that's going to take place up in the heavens. And when it's all said and done, we're going to mount on those white horses. We're going to giddy up, back on down to terra firma, planet Earth, where the Bible says Jesus will establish a kingdom for 1,000 years, emanating from the land that we are in right now, or from the holy city of Jerusalem. I don't know what type of food they're going to be serving at this marriage. Maybe it might be crab legs. I don't know. Because I love crab legs. I don't know whatever your favorite food is. Whatever the case is, it's going to be calorie-free. It's going to be perfect. You know why it's going to be perfect? Because you're going to be in a perfect body.
Amen.
Yeah. You are going to be in a glorified body. Let's go. Amen. That works for me, man. Let's go right now. Amen. And when we get our full, we're coming back here. We're going to reign with him from the holy city of Jerusalem for 1,000 years. So what we're going to do right now is we are going. Oh, by the way, let me just add this right here. Luke 22:18. Again, further proof that it was not fermented wine. Remember what Jesus said in Luke 22, verse 18. The next time I drink this cup, remember the cup that was on the table at the lady's home there? The next time I drink this cup of the fruit. Self-explanatory, guys. fruit of the vine. Next time we drink that cup, will be in my Father's kingdom.
Yes.
Into the kingdom of God.
The theocratic, Davidic kingdom to come from the land of Israel. One day Israel will be the head of the nations. Not the tail of the nations as she is right now, but one day she will be the head of the nations. And based on Ezekiel 5:5, Jerusalem will be the capital of planet Earth.
Amen.
It doesn't get any better than that, amen? So now let's take a look at a 2,000-year-old stone water pot. By the way, why was it a stone water pot? After the purifying of the Jews. Stone doesn't hold impurities. Huh? Stone. If it was cement, cement would hold
Yeah,
impurities.
because of the chemicals in it.
It's got to be stone. That's the reason why it was a purifying of the Jews. They would only use a stone pot. So hello, you might want to add a few things to that, but you got to check out this stone water pot. It's going to blow you away. So why don't we go check that out right now?